Well, welcome to day 4. First off, I'm going to start this video by apologizing yet again for a mistake that I made. I had the settings on my microphones incorrect when I went into the gym yesterday. I didn't even know that there's specific settings you're supposed to put on them. But if you watched last video, you'll see that when it was in the gym during the training, the music was really loud and I was being too quiet. I was a little bit anxious while I was there. I don't record myself in public usually, and I definitely don't talk in public to a camera usually. So these are things that I'm just learning how to get through. But that all caused for not the greatest quality of audio. I tried to edit it as good as I can, but I don't really know what I'm doing. So that's really what we got. I'm gonna learn as I go. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to make things better. I did talk to a friend that has these same mics as me, and he told me what I can do about it. So hopefully, when I go to the gym today, things won't be that way. But today I'm going to be training chest. Yesterday we did a little bit of light arms. Today I'm thinking chest and some shoulders. And hopefully tomorrow I can do back day. It's the weekend now, so the weekends get a little bit weird for me. Um, I usually these are the days that are the easiest to fall off track with because I don't have to do client check-ins or anything. I kind of like give myself the weekends to take a break from stuff like that. And when I'm off of a structured schedule, that's when things get really hard to adhere to for me just because of my ADHD. I thrive on structure. So we're going to be hopefully doing the YouTube video thing for structure. This is going to be what's going to keep me more structured. Today we have eaten 2 meals so far. They've both just been oatmeal, banana, honey, and almond butter and protein. Because again, that is the first 2 meals of my day, anyways. My next meal, chicken and rice. I think that we're going to actually be able to get an actual full day of eating in today. However, I'm not going to be recording that just because I've been too busy and I've already eaten 2 meals. So that's my bad. I actually kind of plan on doing the full day of eating on Monday. So when my actual split and everything starts again, we're going to be doing the full day of eating on Monday. But looking forward to hitting chest. Um, I don't really think that there's really too much for me to say other than, I'm just trying to, I don't know. Today's been a hard day. Headaches are kind of back a little bit. I'm really trying to not let that discourage me. I'm still going to the gym. I don't care. At this point, I'm just fed up with it. And the doctor told me if I can handle to go to the gym, I can go. So I'm going regardless. I don't care anymore. But just got done editing the video for that I recorded yesterday. That's going to be posted up now. So hopefully it's not terrible. Hopefully it's not terrible. I don't have anything planned for this weekend. I usually don't. I don't do anything. I'm very like much of a homebody. I don't go out and party. I don't go drink. I don't do anything like that. I am just very happy being in my own little world here at home with my dogs. So don't really have plans. Typically, that's what my day looks like is just chilling here and doing stuff. Um, Drawing a lot of blanks today. I usually have a little bit easier of a time talking, so I'm sorry about that. I really do think it's just because I kind of have a headache a little bit. This video might be a little bit shorter than yesterday's video. That might be good for some of you guys because I'm sure that that 40-minute long video was a bit too much of me yapping. That's part of what I worry about too. I'm trying to not get in my head about this too much, but I feel like a lot of what I do is just ADHD rambling. I do watch the videos back when I'm editing them to make sure that everything's good. I'm not cutting out anything that I'm saying though. And the reason I'm doing that is because if I start to nitpick every little thing that I say and I start cutting everything out, then I'm going to fixate on that too much and I'm going to be ended up cutting everything out and I'm going to be wondering like what's important enough to keep in the video, what should I delete? Like I don't want to have that spiral and I know that that's where I would head pretty quickly. So I just have to keep telling myself in my head, like, I know I'm not going to say anything that's going to get me canceled. I know I'm not a controversial person that's going to get canceled over anything. So I'm not worried about saying anything stupid that I need to edit out. I'm just worried about saying a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. Then again, maybe it will matter to somebody because a lot of what I'm trying to do is mental health driven. If you've watched me on Instagram and TikTok before this, you know that my main thing is mental health. So I really hope that those are the things that people grasp and people think matter. Other than that, it probably is a bunch of nonsense, but hopefully it's entertaining nonsense. I'm going to do better at the gym today with talking. little bit louder so that you guys can hear me on the mic a little bit better. And I will have my inhaler. So there won't be like a lot of like really deep breathing, like trying to gasp air in between every single sentence that I say. And that's something that I used to get clowned on for on TikTok a lot. I listen, if you're posting on social media, you're going to get hate. So I want to tell you right now, if this is something that you're going to start doing, block out the hate. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it affect you. It's going to happen no matter what. There's just miserable people out there that have their own insecurities for whatever reason, and they try to find people who they can project those insecurities onto. So if you're getting hate, it's 9 times out of 10 probably because of the person that's hating on you and they view themselves in a negative way and it has nothing to do with you. But on TikTok for a while, people would comment on how heavy I'm breathing or like how much I have to like cut the video or whatever to take breaths. And they would say that it's because of anabolics and everything, and it has nothing to do with anabolics. It has everything to do with me having worked in the coal mines, and now it has to do with crazy sinus congestion along with the coal mine thing. So my voice sounds whack too. And that's another thing that I'm trying to get over with recording these videos. I hate how I sound, especially right now being so congested, but it is what it is, right? So chest today, I'm thinking I'm gonna do, I'll probably start with pec deck, something nice and light. That'll be something that can get a little blood in the chest. I can feel that movement pretty well most of the time. We'll go ahead and do that first. After pec deck, maybe I'll do some kind of incline press, maybe a machine press. I don't know yet. I like to do incline Smith machine, but I just know that I'm going to be wildly weak. Don't expect big lifts from me right now, especially on chest day. I've never been strong on chest day. The days that I'm the strongest on are legs and back. Chest pushing, it's not something that I've ever been very strong in. The reason is, I don't know. I have a pretty good developed chest when I'm at 100%. Obviously, right now, we're seeing that I look like, deflated balloons and stuff, and I'm really small. But when I have all my size, I have a pretty good developed chest. So it's not like my chest is lagging necessarily. It's just the strength because I'm 6'2" and I have a very, very long wingspan. My arms are very, very long. So when I'm doing pressing movements, the bar has to travel that much further for me than it would for somebody with shorter arms. That's not an excuse. It's a physics thing. It's a fact. It's literally the way that it is. I have to move the bar a further distance. But I don't train to be strong necessarily. I train to look good. I am a competitive bodybuilder. The only things that I enjoy to train to be strong in are legs, because I just love to do really heavy squats. So I'm really excited to get back to doing really heavy squats. But we'll do some kind of incline press. I'd like to do 3 chest movements. Maybe I'll do some unilateral chest press as well, see how that feels. Or maybe I'll do another cable movement. Kind of depends on my breathing and everything. But we're going to go ahead and do 3 chest movements today. And then we will move on to maybe some lateral raises and then some rear delts. And after that, maybe I'll do some abs and we'll probably call it there. I don't know if I'm going to do a pump check thing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold myself to that, because the reason that I was upset about it yesterday is because I hate how I look right now. I really don't like how I look right now. I'm not happy with it. Being completely transparent, it messes with me in the head to look in the mirror and see myself pretty much looking like a shell of what I once was. And I'm not going to run from that. I'm going to run into that. I'm going to force myself to feel that way. And the reason is because it's going to motivate me to push to get back to that point and then excel beyond it. So I am going to do the pump check thing. And I think it'll be really cool when I continue to do this series, maybe on day 100, where I can compare this one to that one and see how dramatic of a change I've made in that time. That's kind of what I want to do. So just don't let my insecure, whatever, rambling, like, get ahead of me. I'm going to just argue against it like that. We're going to do the pump check. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for chest day. Sorry that I don't have a whole lot to say right now. Like I said, just kind of foggy. I'm going to lay down for a little bit with a hot rag, try to see if I can get this headache to go away a little bit more, and then eat my meal and go to the gym. So I will see you guys in the gym. Okay, push day. I did forget my inhaler again. That was so I kind of lied, but it wasn't on purpose. When I do pec deck, I like to use these just because I have such long arms. Usually, if I use the actual arm on the machine, it just feels really weird and awkward. It feels like I have to hug into myself. This lets me stretch out a little bit further because the more that you bend your elbows and come in like this and like you start barrel hugging, the more that it's going to be doing front delts rather than the thing that we're actually trying to target. So if you guys want to try that out, probably not going to go super heavy today. Like I said, I don't really have the strongest chest, but with not being at the gym in a while, it's just wise to take it easy. So that might have been a little bit too light for a warm up. So we're definitely going to go heavier than that. The problem with recording on a phone and not actually using a camera is I can't just sit here and mindlessly scroll through when I get anxious and I see a lot of people around. So that kind of sucks a little bit, but it is what it is. Eventually we'll upgrade. Just don't see a point in doing that right now. I'm just trying to get back on track, and this is just helping me a little bit. But the other thing is music. I do kind of want more music to listen to when I'm training because unfortunately I didn't figure out the thing with the microphones yet. So you guys are going to hear all the loud music going on in here anyways. Not my kind of music, really. Pretty outdated. We got some good boats and hose yesterday. I definitely prefer a lot different. Also remembered my water today. That's what we call a feeder set. Basically, with a feeder set, it's after you've done your warm up. I'd say, personally, warm up sets, you'll do one or two, maybe like 10 or 15 reps, kind of depending on you and just getting blood in the muscle and getting a good feeling in it. After the warm up set, you move into feeder sets, which is just slowly bringing the weight up to what you think is going to be your working weight. And you'll hit like 4 to 6 reps in feeder sets. Because by 4 to 6 reps, you're going to know if it's going to fail around your rep range. Like for me, my rep range is between 8 and 12. So 6 reps tells me this is way too light. I need to move up. And you just kind of continue to move up that way. So you're not just exhausting yourself before you actually get to your working weight. A lot of people, as they work up to a heavier weight, they'll continue to hit their rep range. They'll do 12 reps, 12 reps, 12 reps. You're just gassing yourself out before you can actually do the heavy movement. So keep your feeder sets like 4 to 6, or at least that's what I like to do. And right now, since I haven't been to the gym in a while and I lost a lot of my strength, I don't really know what my working set weight's going to be anyways. So I kind of have to do that to figure out where it's going to be. I'm doing a lot more than I thought I was going to. That was a lot better for a working set. So now, another thing a lot of people don't know about rep range is if I say my rep range is between 8 and 12, that doesn't mean, oh, I'm a little tired and feeling lazy, I'm just going to do 8 reps each set. It means you're going to try to get 12 every single time. If the weight's heavy enough and if you're actually training to failure, you're not going to repeat the same amount of reps for your next set. So set 1, I got 12. Set 2, I'll likely get 10 because I'm actually pushing myself to failure. So if you match reps, if you do 12 and 12 on your first and second set, the weight's not heavy enough or you rested for too long. So the goal is you're always shooting for the high end of your rep range. But when you start to gas out and you're not hitting that anymore, you're just trying your best to stay above the low end. So I just cannot get below 8 reps. And a lot like yesterday. Yep, see, that's what happens when you don't have an inhaler. A lot like yesterday. I'm a little bit too eager between sets, so I don't really want to sit and rest. I just want to start doing my next set. I think I'm trying to do it a little bit too quickly, so I'm trying to pace myself a little bit more. But man, we're only one working set in and I feel the sweat running down my face. It's a warm gym. See, 10, right about 10, which means, oh, maybe I should catch my breath before I try to talk. I'm fairly certain on the third set, that's going to be 8, but I'm gonna try really hard to get 10 again. Man. I remember when I was doing this, the full stack on this. Right now, I guess we're not that far off. We're at 220. So we'll get back. Honestly, the weird thing is, I get strength back relatively quickly. I've never lost this much of it though, so I guess this is speaking from like experience that I don't have. But when I've downsized, I usually stay pretty strong or I get it fast, but this is the weakest I've been in a while. It is what it is, you know. Life throws us obstacles. All we can do is get around them. And doesn't help to give up, that's for sure. No matter how hard shit gets, I can guarantee you it only gets worse if you give up. It doesn't get better. If you stop trying, it doesn't get better. Give ourselves a little bit more time and then we'll go into our final set. And after this, I haven't decided what I'm going to do next. I'll probably do I'll do Smith. I'll do some incline Smith press and see. I'm just not going to be able to go very heavy on it. That's okay. It's not about how much weight we're moving right now, or almost ever. Really, that's the kind of thing with bodybuilding. It's not about how much you can lift, it's about how much you look like you can lift. Which is funny because most pro open bodybuilders are bigger than strongmen. Not strongmen, that's false. Most open pro bodybuilders are bigger than powerlifters. So you wouldn't be knowing that a lot of these guys in powerlifting meets are putting up a lot larger numbers than the guys that are 280 pounds on stage, but it is true sometimes. Unless you're James Hollingshead and you're doing 7 plates on squats for 3 sets of 10 to 15, some crazy shit like that. So that's called an outlier. It's not something that you see every day. I'd argue that James Hollingshead is probably the strongest bodybuilder that there is or ever was. And if you don't know who that is, go look him up. Eight. Just like I thought. All right. Whew. Moving on to incline. Okay. Don't judge me. It's not going to be very heavy because it's been a while. But I'd be lying if I said I was ever strong at this anyways. We can definitely go heavier than that though. I've always had a really bad habit of going up a plate at a time and not using 25s and 35s and 10s and stuff. And I'm trying to unlearn that, but it's really hard for me to unlearn that when that's literally how I built a 700-pound squat. There again, I don't think my upper body responds the same way to training that my legs do. So we'll definitely get to a point where we can't do one plate at a time. And I don't recommend you guys do it either. For these, depending on how heavy this feels, I think I'm only going for 2 sets of 6 to 8 because these heavier compound movements gas me out quite a bit. And as you can tell, I can't breathe very good. Which is my fault, again, for not having my inhaler. But I forgot like 5 things as I was trying to leave my house. I kept running back in and grabbing it, running back out. For some reason, that just wasn't anything that popped into my head at the time, so we forgot it. I don't even know where it is. That's probably why I forgot it. I haven't seen it in 2 days. I was gonna breathe for a second, then we're gonna do this set.
Ah, ah, ah.
I must be good at guessing today on the reps I'm going to fail on. It's crazy. What's funny is, even when I was at my biggest at 250, I think the most I've ever benched was 315. That's flat bench, though. And that's when I was younger. And a lot of the reason why I've never done more than 315 on flat bench is because I stopped doing flat bench. Which is really not a place for flat bench and hypertrophy for the most part. Stuff like incline pressing is a lot better. But Smith machine's newer for me. It's not something I typically do or have done. But I tried it like, I don't know, a couple months ago. I don't remember when. And I actually really liked it. So I figured since I'm getting started again and doing everything all over again, I might as well incorporate it instead of like the machine presses. And that's also mainly because, as amazing of a gym this is, they got rid of the only good incline machine press. It was a hammer strength plate loaded incline machine press. And I liked it so much better than the, I think it's a Nautilus or whatever. I'm mean mugging it right now. It's right over there. I hate it. Feels like shit. The grips are too close to each other. So I feel like I'm just like doing this. And then also it's so high angled up, it's almost like a shoulder press. I just don't like it. So I'm trying to switch over to this instead. And I don't know. I feel it today pretty good. It's not too bad. I just don't like how weak I look on it. There's only one thing we can do about that though, and that's get stronger. Yeah, there it goes. Not even 8 or 6. That was I don't know, 7, 6, 5.5. I don't have no anything. No, now I'm just having a stroke. I can't talk anymore. These are not words. Well, we'll do a back off set to make up for that. A back off set is just where you lighten the load and get a couple extra good reps in. The reason I'm doing a back off set for this one is because I did not hit my rep range, but I know if I stayed at that heavy of a weight, it was just going to dip more and more since that set. So just drop the weight and then run it again. And I probably won't go more than 8 reps on this one because I want to do another pressing movement. I want to do unilateral. So I don't want to gas myself out before I can do that too. Ooh, I was feeling a lot of that in my shoulders. All right, moving on now. So by now, this is my third chest movement. With that being said, I shouldn't need to warm up anymore, and it shouldn't take that many feeder sets to get to my working weight. If I was not restarting everything and, coming back from losing weight, I'd already know what my working weight is on this machine, or I'd have a relatively better idea of it, and I'd probably just start at that anyways. You don't really need to warm up every single different movement that you do. You'll just be wasting your time in the gym. You really only need to do 1 to 2 warm-up sets at the very beginning of your workout, and then everything else from there, just feeder sets to feel the weight before you start lifting heavy. So right now, I threw 2 plates on. Typically, I'll do like 4 on here. I'm assuming, seeing the decrease in strength on all the other machines that I've been doing so far, 2 plates is probably going to be pretty fair for this exercise. And I think we'll do 3 sets on here. So rep range again, I'm thinking between 8 to 12. Yep, that's all I got. Now I'm just stalling while I catch my breath a little bit more. Whew. I might have forgot my water over there. I'll worry about that later when it's important. All right. I like to do these neutral grip. Neutral is like this. This is neutral. This is pronated. This is supinated. I prefer to do neutral grip on this one, so I'll grab these side ones right here. When you're training unilaterally, two things to keep in mind. Number one, start with your weak side. Because let's say I start with my strong side and I get like 15 reps real easily, my weaker side is likely to get 2 to 3 reps below that, and it's going to be uneven. So I always start with my weaker side, and then I'll match the reps on my stronger side. Thing number two, when you're training unilaterally and it's like a heavy movement like this, take a break before you go to the next side. Don't just whip over and start hitting that next set, because yeah, the muscle over here is ready to be worked, but you haven't caught your breath yet. You don't have enough endurance to train that muscle at the same effectiveness that you did on one side. So that's just 2 good things to think about when you're doing unilateral training. So 12 reps is hard to get either way. Looks like I'm right again. I'm really hopeful that I'm going to get my strength back pretty quickly here. You know what's nice is the time I've been coming into the gym, it's not super busy, so I don't feel all that self-conscious about how weak and small I am right now. But should it matter? Doesn't matter, guys. Don't worry about other people's judgments of you. Everybody is out living the same complex life that you are. They've got their own stuff going on. Everything that you have going on, they probably have going on in their head too. They've got all kinds of other stuff they got to think about with their life and their day. It's really unlikely that they're paying any attention to you and making fun of you for what you're doing. So, and if you're just getting started in the gym, I think it's more often than not, the people in the gym are really, really nice and supportive and helpful, anyways. And they're people that you can go up to and ask for help or questions or anything. Or if you need a spot or if you need somebody to hold a camera, if you want to record a set or anything like that, people in the gym are generally going to be much more accepting and supportive of that because we're all sharing in the same passion here. We all have the same mindset and the same goals here. Some people might have more extreme goals like pro bodybuilder, Olympia stage, everything like myself. And some people might just be trying to lose weight or gain muscle or just look a little bit better. But regardless, we're all in here with the same goal, and that's just to improve ourselves. It's self-improvement. And when you see other people sharing in the same passion as you, you're not going to criticize them. It's actually, it's a nice feeling to have. This is why I don't want to have a home gym. I like to be in a public gym. I like to see other people. It's like nice and motivating and inspiring to see all these other people in here working just as hard. So you don't got to be scared of anybody in the gym. Don't be scared of people who are judging you. And if anybody is judging you, it's because they're insecure with themselves. It has nothing to do with you. So don't stress. The only time I'll judge you in the gym is if you're training in jeans and just don't train in jeans. Number one, it's kind of gross. You're going to sweat a lot more in jeans than sweats or joggers or anything like that. And it's not, I feel like it's gross. Number two, denim on gym equipment is not good for the leather. It's going to be a lot more abrasive than something like joggers or sweatpants. So just don't wear your jeans to the gym. It's really disrespectful to the owners of the gym. I'm very fortunate to have a gym like this that I get to work out in every single day. This is Butler Pro Gym, and they source all of the equipment here. They take a lot of pride in collecting all of this really good and rare equipment. So if you're coming in here with your jeans on and you're fucking up the leather on all the equipment, it's real disrespectful. So don't be doing that. I'll judge you if you do that and if you don't rack your own weights. I'll definitely judge you if you don't rack your own weights. That makes me so mad. I'd be going around the gym picking up other people's weights and putting them where they belong because people can't think for themselves, and it's just really frustrating. So just try to take care of the space that you're in and respect it, you know? Oh, I wasn't gonna let that slide. I was gonna jump in there and assist that one. I'd have been pissed if I didn't get that lockout. Definitely need to get body work soon. That's another thing. My shoulders feel so super lopsided. Like it feels like this one's like forward and up, and this one's like back. I don't know. It just feels weird. Feels wonky. I've noticed it in my posing. When I did my show last year, I noticed it when I was doing my back double bicep. It's just not opening up evenly. There's a lot of different reasons for that. I think one of the reasons is sleeping. I sleep on my right side, so I'm like huddled in like this, and I'm typically a lot heavier than I am now. So I can't imagine staying like that, tucked up in my shoulder all night long is very good. Plus, being stressed out and everything, your body notices when you're stressed in the mind. So you're going to tense a lot more, like your shoulders and your jaw and everything. They become more tense almost naturally. And then you have to be mindful of it all day long. And just remember to kind of, relax your shoulders. I do it all day. When I'm sitting on my desk and I'm doing client check-ins, I'll be sitting there like this, like stressed out about whatever it is. I don't know. I've got a million things going on in my head at all times. I'll be sitting there like this, all stressed out, trying to type. And then I'll notice I'm doing it, drop it. And then my traps and my neck and stuff are super tight. That's also a contributing factor to this. So be mindful of your body. Oh. Dude, this third set's gonna be brutal. Oh, after this, we're gonna do lateral raises. There's 3 ways that I can do it. There's a plate loaded machine, there's a pin loaded seated machine, and then there's the dumbbells. I haven't decided which one I'm going to do yet, but we'll do that, and then rear delts, which I'll do that with dumbbells. So with that in mind, I'll probably just go do side laterals over there as well, just so I can just be in the same area and not have to move around as much. So one more set of this and we'll get that going. But you know, I feel like chest looks a little bit fuller right now. I definitely feel it a little more. It kind of feels like when you don't put water, like you don't put enough water in a water balloon, it's still kind of saggy and not quite filled out. That's what it feels like right now. There's a lot more space in here that's supposed to be filled out with nice carbs and glycogen and, you know, be a little bit bigger. But that'll come back with time. For now, let's just embrace being a skinny guy, because this is our new life right now. All right. That was all shoulder. My chest is gassed. That's a good sign though, since this is our last movement. That's what I'd like to feel. Be shitty if I didn't train it hard enough and I moved on to shoulders like, oh, I still got more in the tank for chest. I could have done more with it, but it's usually a good sign if if it's completely gassed out by the end of it, that means I did a good job. So it's one good thing I'll say about making a comeback right now. It takes a lot less stimulus to fatigue, which means I'm going to grow a little bit easier. I'm not going to have to do as many movements and reps and sets as I was before when I was all back on track and 250 pounds. So it does make things a little bit easier, but that won't last much longer because the endurance will come back. All right, right side. Momentum rep. We don't count the momentum reps. Time to move on. All right, I made a decision without you guys. Sorry. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do this lateral machine, and then I'm doing back tomorrow. So I'm going to do rear delts with back. Just makes a little bit more sense that way because pretty gassed already. I think I'm getting too optimistic before I come into the gym thinking I'm going to be able to do multiple muscle groups and have no issues, and I'm being humbled by that. So we'll do some lateral raises, probably 2 sets here, and then we'll be done. With lateral raises, and this is true for dumbbells and cables and everything too, okay? So it's not just specific to this machine. What you do is you'll take a slight step back, because you don't want to be going just straight out to your sides like this. That's not what you do. You come forward like this, and then you kind of go in front of yourself. The other thing is tuck your chin down like this. If you have your chin up like this, start using your traps in the movement. You're not actually getting your side delts. So if you tuck your chin like this, you're stretching your traps all the way to a point where they can't contract as well and they can't take over in the movement that you're doing. And then lastly, lead with your wrists. You want to think about leading with your wrists up and down in this movement. We'll do 2 sets of 15 on here and then probably call it after that. All in all, it was a pretty good chest day, given the circumstances. No migraine today. That's a plus. Tomorrow, 100%, I need to have my inhaler because there's zero chance I'm going to be able to do back day without my inhaler. But we will cross that bridge when we get to it. So now, let's just worry about what we're doing right now. And it is the end of my workout, so I'm running on one brain cell right now. It's not going to be much more commentary from me because of that, but that's okay. Y'all will be fine. Okay, second set. Boom, done. I guess now we will go upstairs in the posing room. Unfortunately, as far as lighting goes, I don't really like this lighting in this posing room, but this is all we have to work with, so we're gonna have to deal with it. But let's see how everything's looking now after our first chest day back. I'd say it's a little better than yesterday. Can't tell because of the crazy glare on this fucking lighting in here, but definitely fuller. I'll try to zoom in so it doesn't look so awful. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, definitely a lot better. Arms are flatter since I trained them yesterday, but you know, it is what it is. I don't know if you guys have that same thing too, but the day after I've trained a muscle group, like yesterday I trained arms, the next day they're flat. They're like the flattest thing on my body. I don't know why that is, but it is that way. Whew. I am gassed out endurance wise. I can't breathe anymore, so that's all the posing I'm going to do today. But that wraps up day 4. I think that was pretty good. I think this is the best day that I've had out of every one of them. It's funny, I said on my 25th birthday, I was like, oh, this is day 1. We're going to start, we're going to do everything perfect on day 1. And I was really sick still, and I couldn't do anything. Couldn't lift, couldn't eat for like 2 days into this brand new series that I just started. So
things have been progressively getting better every single video that I've done. I am taking that into notice, and that's honestly a really good thing. I'm really happy about that. So we're just going to continue to try to get better and better. Tomorrow's back day, so I'm looking forward to that. Not going to record on the way home from this video, unfortunately. Just going to go home and try to enjoy my Friday a little bit and get this video edited so I can have it out for you guys tomorrow. But thank you guys for sticking around for another day. I hope that this one was better than yesterday. I'm going to apologize in advance because I couldn't figure out the microphone settings earlier before I came to the gym. So there's a high likelihood that the audio in this gym session is going to be not any better than it was yesterday with the loud music they play in here. But I will get that figured out eventually. So just bear with me and try to be patient with me. I'm trying to learn as I go. But I hope you guys crush your goals today too. And I'll see you tomorrow.